Hello, everyone. I'm Gabriel.
And I'm Noah.
And this is Chair Champions Talk. Now, if we sound a bit different,
It's because we are not using digital technology and we're in the same room.
finally, it's been I remember we recorded for the old one, the
Soundstation Central.
Soundstation Central on our old podcast. We used to do these round, and we've decided to bring that back because I think those are some of our best episodes.
Yeah.
And there's a possibility that I might be able to come over here every week now because I can come over later if need be.
But I can also go over to you as well.
Right. So we can get that done and stuff. So
yeah.
Anyway, so today on Chair Champions Talk, if you want to submit ideas for this show, anything or whatever, go to our Twitter at GabeNNoah1 and tweet us. You can use I haven't tweeted on there in a bit, so I'll have to throw something in there. But other than that, there's also stuff in the description or comment down below. It's up to you. But anyway, what is today's episode about?
Sorry. It's a long day.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Helluva Boss again.
Yeah, we're having another Helluva Boss episode.
Yep. And I believe we did episode 1 and 2 of Helluva Boss in the same episode.
Pretty sure. Yeah, we were just analyzing Helluva Boss in and of itself. And we'll probably have a big episode at one point. This is episode 8 now. Our previous discussion on a different movie got lost, so we'll probably have to re-record that one at some point. But anyway, today is about the third episode of Helluva Boss. We'll probably do next week episode 4, but episode 3, Spring Break.
Spring Broken.
That's it. Before we get into I'm thinking we'll have a discussion section before hardware and software, just talking about the series. So the way the series is going so far, now, morality aside, it's pretty entertaining. The way the show is going, I feel the show is becoming a little bit more self-aware. I've noticed to a degree. I think ever so slightly more self-aware than it used to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of fourth wall breaking.
Right, and there's times where they say specific jokes that are recent-ish, like the smooth brain line. Spoilers, by the way, there will be spoilers in these, but the line about Moxie having a smooth brain is a much more recent meme than a lot of than just a classic joke type of thing, there's jokes that just are undying, things that I irony situations, things his ex, how many exes does he have? And why don't know. All his exes, all of Blitzo's exes we call him Blitz, they call him Blitzo. Let's just stick with Blitz then. All of Blitz's his name is Blitzo.
Yeah, but everybody calls him Blitzy or Blitz.
That's it, right. But yeah, Blitzo's exes so far, all of them are just high end.
Very high end.
I looked, so from what it turns out, the owl guy is
single ring,
third or second in command almost.
Yeah. And you're just how?
How? And then a pop star is one of his exes apparently. It's just there's crazy that part's crazy. Also, we discussed this last time, and I have to say personally, I do disagree with you on one thing. I still think the imps were not human to begin with.
You sure?
Personally, that's just my personal theory, is that all the imps, in general, I think, I would think, to me, because, it would explain the fact that so many of them are so similar, and they're always, and they seem to be smaller, being imps, than anyone else. All the other demons don't, ones that are people who came into hell, don't have names of, what species of a demon they are, necessarily. You take, none, what's her name? The wolf girl is
Luna
is
a werewolf.
Right. She's a hellhound.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been established that is a species. The hellhound. There's also the what's it called? The guy that she liked in this episode is also a hellhound.
Yeah,
referred to him.
I don't know what the guy's name is.
Right. Vortex was his name.
I am Vortex.
It's like, hey, I'm Vortex.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's they're both hellhounds, so it's established that hellhounds are a species. But the thing is, with my theory is that any demon that has a species name that is like, okay, yeah, that
is from originally there.
Right, was born in hell, but like someone like, I assume Vaggie, and what's her, and the other characters, Alistair. Well, no, yeah, actually, yeah, Alice. But Alistair is, again, he's not referred to. Yeah, he's not referred to as a species. Right. Sorry, my brain.
Same with
Angel. What's his name?
Angel Dust.
Angel Dust. Thank you.
And
mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the gargoyle looking guy? He's like Hank or something, right?
Yeah, Hank. I think. I think it's Hank or Harry, whatever his name is. Sorry for butchering the name.
Anyways, back on.
Right. So yeah, I'm sticking with my theory. Could be wrong. If it turns out to be wrong, I'm fine with that. But I'm sticking with my theory that imps, succubi, or hellhounds are all like born, or they existed in hell to begin with.
Yeah. But you gotta admit, some of the ones that do come down here also get.
Right, they do get similar like
they become.
Right, like the teacher lady was about the same height as Blitzo, but then that presents the possibility. Does that mean that if imps and the humans, when they come to hell, are about the same size, most of the demons in hell are huge, if you think of it like that.
Oh yeah.
I want to see. Actually, I want to see a comparison. I want to see a comparison of like Blitzo height wise and them to Charlie and their group, the Hasman Hotel, because there's no imps in the except for, I think the only imp in Hasman Hotel is the cleanup girl, the little one-eyed Nifty. So I don't know if they've established whether, I think she is an imp. I'm pretty sure she's an imp. So if she is, that would definitely show that even Charlie is much taller than even a human is. Which be weird. I guess I don't know. I don't know how the science works of the world just yet. I'm sure there's a lot of things we're getting wrong. And I'm sure episode 4 next week will explain a whole lot.
Yep. But
this episode, now that we've had our discussion bit.
Okay, so hardware or software?
Let's start with hardware.
Okay. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Writing.
And they made some very good bits with the cues and stuff of the fourth wall breaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's just, it's the guy who played Invader Zim pulled it in very well.
Yeah. I mean, he was already a professional actor, voice actor, so it just makes sense that he'd do well in a project like this.
So, I just think the social cues that they used was just spot on, though.
The social cues?
Like I said, the fourth wall breaks, but also how they use they're at the big party scene and how they're attracting their prey, and it's it's perfect. And then, right. Yeah,
it makes sense. I guess it would have made less sense if they really just went up there and started massacring. Yeah. Because that would have been but there's got to be there's got to be a reason why only one demon has a book to the surface. Yep. Obviously there are in that world there are rules. Even in hell there are rules for what you're supposed to and not supposed to do. And I remember when they were saying, hey, you guys, you'll get in trouble for unleashing a giant fish monster thing, and it's it was well, you'll get in trouble for not having disguises, and it was the fact that they established even more so there that Satan, who seems to be in charge of everything there, obviously would, actually be upset with people doing that for whatever reason. That's the thing. Why would he be upset? Like, I'm actually very curious about the world. I think the most interesting thing that I'm curious about is the world building. Like, why would Satan care about any of that? Why can they not just go up in there and do that? Because, like, here on Earth, the only for anyone who's religious would know them. Anyone who's not religious, and just pointing this out, a Catholic belief is that demons don't do what they do on Earth because there are things that God does not allow, right? But in this world, it's not. We don't know yet. It's a whole nother system. It works differently from what we know in the real world. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how does that work? What are the, like you said, the social cues? Like I think what I liked the best, one of the funny bits, was the fact that the police came, because I was like, oh yeah, if you did just go and do that on a beach and we're trying to get a bunch of students, because I think those were spring break, so it was mostly younger kids,
like college students and stuff,
right? So it's like, yeah, if you did do that, you'd probably get arrested. You'd get in big trouble for that. So I was like, that makes sense. So I was like, okay. So there is a logic to the world and all that. But yeah, so we should probably give like if you haven't seen the episode,
the gist is like, so it's I guess rival of the X's, mm-hmm. with Blitzo, the imp boss, and Verosica, the boss of the succubi.
I think so. I think succubi is plural. Don't ask me why I know. Shibi, actually.
Yeah, whatever. But anyways, so they're having a battle of the X's.
Right, a squabble.
Because of a parking spot, because mm-hmm. nobody knows, mm-hmm. decency with each other.
Right, it's hell.
Yeah, like, enough said. So they decide to make a bet, and whoever they can off the most gets to keep the parking spot.
Right. Like, whoever can off in more ways than one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, let's not. But PG-13.
Yeah. And so they do their business. Well, Blitzo does his dumb planning once again and decides to use Luna as their bait.
Once they find out they're apparently supposed to have human disguises.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what?
So the spring break happens. They're mm-hmm. doing their job, and then the real competition happens. And mm-hmm. in the middle of it, Verosica tosses her like a liquor bottle thing mm-hmm. and makes a monster fish.
Yeah.
So while this is all happening, Luna is talking to the bodyguard of Verosica.
Yeah, Verosica. Vortex.
His name's Vortex. Mm-hmm. Because she's trying to get all buddy-buddy with him.
Mm-hmm. She's got a little crush. Little goth girl crush.
Mm-hmm. And so that hijinks is happening while madness and destruction and whole yada wada is happening. And the smallest Millie comes in, saves the day like a badass. Mm-hmm. Defeats the fish single-handedly, mm-hmm. and points out to the succubi that if they found out that they brought the monster fish, they'd be in trouble.
Right.
So
the
end of the story is that they win the parking spot by default. Mm-hmm. And it ends with a little joke of them the succubi getting caught by the police. Right.
Yeah. I do remember one of the there was something I was trying to think of. Whatever it was. But so yeah, that all happens.
What are you guys doing?
Podcast.
Oh, You're on there right now?
Yeah, we're recording. Sorry.
There's a piece of furniture in the back of Dad's truck. If you guys, before Gabe leaves, bring it and just leave it right here. Okay?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna be at Jack's.
Okay.
All right.
That was one moment.
Um.
So, anyways,
Yeah. So
the joke you were,
right. Well, there was a bit. So yeah, that's the story of it. And overall, what did you think of the plot? Like what kind of story they came up with? Like the conflict in general. Like was it a good conflict?
well, it's your usual one and done episode. Like there's no
Right.
underlining story plot to continue with. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, haha jokes here and then you're done.
Right. They didn't even like reference other episodes. It's a very episodic series so far. Like it's not like, oh, if you don't see the first episode or the second episode, you're not going to get what's going on. You
Yeah, like
kind of
Adventure
understand
Time
it.
before season 2 or 3.
Right. Like, well, yeah, it wasn't, I never saw it, but I know Adventure Time, like one of the, like season 1 was apparently like you watch any episode, doesn't matter. You're going to feel like you're on an acid trip.
Yeah.
It's just, it does not matter what episode you start on.
That was also like regular show. Regular show was just like,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, what has my brain gone to?
Bro,
Anyways,
sorry.
We're
Yeah,
veering off.
But yeah, it's a very episodic series. So every episode is an adventure in and of itself. And like any development is like it happens within the episode.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's like you kind of get an idea of what kind of development you're getting. Like if I watched episode 3 without watching any of the previous series, I'd be like, okay, so these guys kill people or whatever. Oh, this character almost called Blitzo dad. His face when she was about to call him dad was like
He's like Blitz.
idiot. She's the definition of idiot, stupid head.
Or just like the daughter who doesn't want to admit their dad's dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the adoptive daughter who's like, you're not my real father, but then cries that she said that later. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, I wish I hadn't said that. That was
But
weird.
and then okay, so yeah, I think that's my bit on hardware. So
Mm-hmm. Well, what about? Oh, sorry, we did voice acting, story. Was there what about negative points that you can think of as far as like any of the hardware stuff goes, or anything?
well, there was too many fluid moments for a show that's kind of supposed to be blocky.
Mm-hmm.
Like
animation wise.
Yeah, like I feel like this show is where the characters, like when they run, they zip. Like,
Right.
in the animation, it looks like there's a blob line
Mm-hmm.
for them running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's a smear.
Yeah. But there's so many like points when it's like up close to their faces that's just like super like face tracking.
Right. Well, they didn't do any face tracking, but like lip syncing and stuff like that. I will say they had a lot more close-up scenes in this episode than they had in the previous ones. Many of the previous ones had a lot of backed-up scenes of them, and when you have a character you're looking at a character from a distance, then smears are more like they can't worry as much about the fine-tuned details for those scenes. So I think as far as animation goes, they had a lot more close-up scenes, and due to that, they had a more smooth scenes. There was one scene, and I'd honestly like to know who worked on it, was the scene which is like, oh, heck, Blitz, why can't you stay out of my life for about 5 minutes or something? Yeah. And that one specific scene, honestly, just looked like it was way smoother, or the motion for it, what's the word? Sakuga, basically, in many ways. You know what Sakuga animation is? Sakuga is like it's an anime term. It's, in essence, let's say, most of the time for a series, you have a group of animators, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Sakuga, is one scene that is only done by one animator who is really, really good at animating. So, like, a great example of that is the guy who works on, like, My Hero Academia and one of the people in One Punch Man. Mob Psycho has a ton. Sakuga is the really, really epic scenes, or the really, really...
where it's just like super like, this is like real.
It's like dynamic. Looks like there's one scene in Fire Force where the fire is animated like it looks like actual fire. And it's like, that's not like, they've had fire in the whole animation, but then this one scene, fire looks real.
Sorry, that was a spider. in front of my face. I'm fine. But
yeah, that's what Sakuga is. When you hire like an extra animator, or you have someone who's really good at a specific thing, and you have them do that. And it seemed to me like that scene, either they just worked really hard on it, or they had someone come in on that one. And I am curious about that. I would like to look into that. If I joined like the streams, I'm sure I'd learn a lot more, but I don't really join any of those things. Like,
I'm not a nerd.
like, I'm not a nerd. I know. It's like, actually, that's not canon. But yeah, the animation change for that, and the animation in this in general is getting smoother. And like, I know some people would look at that like you're kind of seeing it as like it should be more blocky, or it should be.
Well, I mean, like
more snappy, maybe.
Yeah, like it should just. I'm one of those guys where it's like it's gotta be consistent.
Right. You'd rather
show like SpongeBob.
Right. If the animation was like at a certain level at the first episode, you prefer it to just stay that level the whole series, rather than like even like of course animators improve, but it's like you want it to keep the quality or the kind of like when it's like keep the quality of the previous thing. You mean it just like not even just don't decrease it, but also don't increase it type of thing. You like like you said, you like consistency. I can understand that. And like it could maybe have something to do with, I don't know if like how many animators they hire or fire regularly. I'm pretty sure most of the team is just the same people, but I'm sure they hire more people every now and then, and I'm sure they fire somebody now and then. Something happens. I don't know. I'm not in connection with any of their business that's going on. I don't know any of that. But yeah, animation was a bit different. Going back to the hardware section, in the later part of the episode, near the end, I felt like the acting, or at least the pace, slowed down to keep because they wanted to get to a certain time amount.
Yep.
I wasn't too happy with the pacing near the end of the episode. Like the beginning of it was fine, it was great, but it was very, because you know Brandon Rogers' like voice and everything. Yeah. Quick comedy. I just noticed the ring on your finger, on your ear.
Yeah.
But
I'm just like,
it's Brandon Rogers' quick comedy.
Yeah. And so, once he starts slowing down, it's kind of like, meh.
Right.
Okay.
It's that kind of thing. Like
But then that's when the guy who plays
Moxie?
Yeah, comes in because he's worked on actual TV where it's like runtime is a bit longer.
Right. And you need to make it go long enough for I can only imagine, like there's the pressure, I guess, like when you establish that your episodes are 20 to 30 minutes long on a series, like this
well, 20 to 30 minutes, that's like the same equivalent to a normal TV episode.
Right. So when you decide that, you have to keep to that, is a thing for the most part, because people are going to expect that. They don't want to wait a week to get a 5-minute episode, or vice versa. They don't want to have to wait longer just because you want to make an hour episode, unless you want to make a special. So type of thing like that. And with this, they've kind of established that the episodes are about 10, 11, 12 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes long, or shorter sometimes.
Or 10 to 20.
Yeah, 10 to 20, around there. And so they've established that. So it's like, okay, we get that. And you want to keep to the right length of the story. And like you said, Moxie keeps that going. His voice is like, when you listen to Moxie's voice, it's very much the kind of voice you can listen to slowly.
Yeah, and I kind of like how they kind of did a joke about that. Oh, my brain. Oh, sorry, folks. It was a slow day today.
Hey, slow day for slow people.
No, the joke with Moxie doing his long monologue of him going against pop music.
Right.
Brandon and the Blitz guy just like
completely tunes him out.
Yeah.
Because like Brandon doesn't want to hear this little spiel. I don't listen to what's known as pop genre. So her status to me doesn't. Moxie.
Just shut up.
So yeah, it's like.
And I kind of feel like that's like both actors actually
Right.
like in that moment.
Right, like I don't know if I doubt there's like any beef, but more along the lines like that's just their personalities.
Yes.
How they relate, how they mix realistically.
Yeah.
Is got Moxie and Blitzo. Moxie is a slow, entertaining voice. Brandon's voices are a quick-paced, funny quips type of voice.
He's a quipper.
He's a quipper, and like even Moxie's like.
Yeah,
is she blind? Type of thing. Like he would have said, is she blind? Like just the way they speak. Even.
Yeah, he's witty.
He's witty.
One's a quipper and one is witty.
Right, and it's like it's interesting, and they their relationship is just the funniest. Like they obviously hate each other.
Like, but it's like they gotta work together.
They gotta work together. What else are they gonna do? I think that'll be an interesting thing to get into. Is like what else could they do? You know, obviously
that's true.
Like why don't they leave? Each
Yeah.
other, like as a group, what is keeping like obviously Moxie and Millie, like they're together, they're not going to leave each other. So if one of them leaves the group, the other one will too, unless they're having a fight, which I'm sure is going to be an episode. I am absolutely sure there's going to be because I saw the trailer for season 1. There's a trailer, little cutscenes, little bits, and there's this one scene of just Moxie and Millie are swinging on a rope, Tarzan style, making out. I was like, either they had a fight in the beginning of this, and this is the makeup, or this is just an episode about them in general.
Or like a flashback.
Or a flashback. Yeah, it could be.
Flashback of them having a nice moment and then it going wrong.
But yeah, there's a number of things like that. But yeah, Moxie and Millie. But then, yeah, it's a curious thing for me. Like, what if the team breaks up? Like, I would not be surprised if there's an episode about that. Because they argue with each other. They're a family in many ways. They argue with each other all the time. They get on each other's nerves, but they're still there. There's a reason why they've decided not to head out. And, like, I don't know, like how exactly that works. And, actually, good thing I want to point out, Blitzo said, "I adopted you" to Luna. Mm-hmm. So he did actually adopt her, which I'm sure there's adoption in hell in this world that they have.
I feel like it was more like not like a child meets parent adoption, more like caretaker meets pet.
Right. That makes sense.
Because God forbid they actually be nice in hell.
Right. No, that wouldn't be too good. But yeah, that is a big question for me. Like, how did like obviously Moxie and Millie, I assume, met on their own in their own story. And
yeah,
Blitzo
like I said, I feel
Luna,
like they're gonna do like a Bonnie and Clyde backstory for them.
Right, and then Blitzo and Luna met in a whole another way as well. Obviously, like she even pointed out, I was almost 18. So if like pointing that out, it could just be I'm pointing out that I'm old enough to take care of myself type of thing. But there is also the possibility in my head that like there is a rule in hell that like, okay, you do need to be taken care of until you're 18 because even though like I think there's going to be like even though it's hell, we don't let like pedos rape, like, that those kinds of like I think like this is a hell with standards.
We don't want the double sins happening here.
Right, that's a hell with standards. Like in like I'm sure in real life wouldn't matter, but in this world,
hell has standards.
Hell has standards.
Like all professionals have standards.
Right. Yeah. Like you take like even speaking slightly off topic, like you take even the mafia. Like I know that like there's like different groups and each one has their own rules. Like this one, we don't hurt families bigger than 3, or something like that, or we don't hurt pregnant women, type of thing. There's different mafias have different rules and different sets of laws that they have in place.
You don't kill both parents. You make
right. Sure you never kill both parents. That's another thing until the child's 18 years old.
Or
right. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah, hell is the same way in this world. So it's like so. I would assume someone has to take care of anyone who's born in hell and younger than 18.
Yep.
Mm. So with that in mind, that asks the question: So why would Blitzo do that though? Like you said, more like I could see Blitzo doing it out of the blue, like really
Yeah,
just
just
being
like,
oh,
whatever.
this is mine now.
Yeah. Just like in the middle of one of the escapades of his many
Right.
breakups.
Right. But we do know they met when she was still like she was already like at least in her teens. So
Yeah.
she said I was almost 18. So she
And
was in her
she's-
teens. So she wasn't like a puppy at the time.
Yeah, I think she was 21 right now?
Yeah, she's in her 20s, but she was like I was almost 18. But that's the thing. That's another thing. She stayed. She's still around.
Mm-hmm.
I think we even brought this up. Like I know I keep bringing this up, but it's like if she's now 18 and could leave, why hasn't she? Is it because it's easier to stay, or is it actually a matter like you look at Vortex? He's got a good gig.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at him, he's an actual just bodyguard. That's
He's
his
like,
job.
I'm just paid not to care.
I'm not paid enough to care.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'm just here as her bodyguard. That's my job. That's it. So what I do on my own time, she does not give a dang about. She lets me do my own thing. That's how it works. So you look at that. They're more successful than Blitzo is currently. If you look at the imp,
Yeah.
their thing. She's obviously more like famous right now. She's got the car. She's a pop star. So
Oh yeah, of course, Succubus is a pop star.
right, it just makes sense, honestly. But yeah, so you have all that. Yeah, there's a reason why the characters stay, all that, and back to the software section. The animation, again, there was another thing. Oh, sound design is not. Sound design in these last 2 episodes have been 100 times better than the first episode of Has Been Hotel. For one reason. In Has Been Hotel, they did this thing where they tell a joke and then you'd hear a random sound to emphasize the joke. Like, you hear small air horns way in the back during that one part where Angel Dust is insulting the snake dude.
Yeah, you just got pwned, sir.
Right. So it's like, they did that with the sound effects. I wasn't fond of it.
It's a bit too much.
It was a little too much. It was emphasizing the jokes. Like, honestly, I'm very much the type of guy who likes, like, someone says something, then complete silence, punchline.
Yeah.
Some, like, those kinds of jokes I do like a bit better. Like with my editing, I do that all the time.
Yeah, and I also like the that brings a point to one of the jokes. The fourth wall break.
Right.
It's like, do you know what type of freaks out there?
You just look at the screen. Because, like, dude, obviously, I've not searched up any of it.
No,
but,
no.
I follow... there's at least 2 or 3 artists I follow on Twitter. They're just good artists, but they happen to draw certain types of... Like, they don't draw that kind of content, but their characters... Okay, no insult to anyone in the community, but I mean, they draw a lot of furry content.
Yep.
And I know at least one of them apparently has an extra Twitter, apparently. I don't follow that one, but because I follow this one, I get that stuff sometimes. Every now and then I'm just scrolling and randomly, Luna.
Oh, no.
No, thank you. And, dude, I swear Twitter listens because, like, Pink Power Ranger. Hold on. Wait.
No.
No. Do not recommend it.
I'm just over here.
Remove from my recommended tweets.
See, I'm over here just like, no.
I'm going to go from Twitter to Discord. Gabriel, I need help.
Yes. It's like, no.
Yeah. But yeah, just sometimes I'll get stuff like that. Just randomly, out of nowhere. Just random. Because like maybe they retweeted something with their main account. Doesn't matter. True. Or even just they liked a tweet. But anyway, with that kind of stuff, there's a number of times I have seen Luna content. And it's it's just like, you could have censored that.
I ain't seen those moments. I'd just be like, huh? What did I miss? Oh, no.
No, thank you. I was having a good day. You made it better. No.
See, I would just be there just laughing at your reaction, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's just, all right, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. That is not helping. But yeah, that stuff exists. And honestly, even just seeing the design, I was like, yeah, it's obvious. I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was like, I saw the designs. I was like, I've scrolled a couple times, and even then, Millie.
I'm surprised of how porous my face is.
Why?
Sorry, random sidetrack
We had
right there.
video content of this. It just people would just be like, zoom.
That a ring in his face?
It's a ring in his ear. Like it went from his ear to his face. What happened? I don't understand. But yeah, there's But yeah, the what we were saying the acting, the pacing. Right, I was talking about the pacing, and we got back into the animation. But yeah, the pacing for the later parts of the episode with Moxie, and Moxie kind of saved it with his lines. But even like it's like. Yes, I'm feeling, dude. I'm going to start ignoring when we do this stuff when we get to that point. But anyway, yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to say about it? Because I don't really have any other pointers on the matter.
No, not really. I mean, we've said a good amount.
Right, we've actually spent a decent amount of time. Probably because we're actually talking.
Yeah, that's true. But... So, anyways, I think it would be going into ratings now, right?
Yeah. So, hardware section for you.
I'd give it a 6.
A 6 out of 10 today? Lower rating than last time.
Yeah, because, yeah, it's a funny show and stuff, but it's like, for something episodic, you really shouldn't put that much work in it.
Right. Plus, like, I think even Vivzi established that Helluva Boss is not like Has Been Hotel at all, in the sense that Has Been Hotel is her plan for a legit series that might even end up on a TV screen at home type of thing. That's what she's going for Has Been Hotel. And she has other, she even mentioned it in an announcement, she's got tons of other projects that they're working on, a number of them. Then there's the other thing, but she mentioned that Has Been Hotel is supposed to be like, this is a YouTube series. No, Has Been Hotel is a TV series. Helluva Boss is a YouTube series. That's the best way to think of it.
Yep.
And like, I can get that. That makes sense. Like looking at the two of them,
but then
I would
also
be
that
surprised.
makes me wonder, where would Has Been Hotel be like an Adult Swim thing? Or
I assume
like
so. Like, I would see it. I think that's what she would be going for, at least, because I don't see that going anywhere else as far as TV series. Like, I don't think any other channels, as far as I know.
Yeah, because it's not funny enough to be a Comedy Central deal.
Not necessarily, no.
Mm.
I could see it if they were to get a deal, though, for getting it on a TV series of any sort, whether Adult Swim or
Comedy Central or something.
Comedy Central or something. Yeah. Any of those, if they were to do that, I could definitely see them reanimating the whole first episode to a degree, or redoing the first episode. In fact.
No, yeah, totally, because
they want to upgrade, like, okay, because
well,
repost.
then again, it's the pilot episode. You usually work off of the pilot episode.
You work on, yeah. So it's like I am curious what they will decide. Like, will they? Because like, if they do get that deal, I don't know. Like, because like looking at Helluva Boss, their animation is improving in many different ways, and they're definitely going to apply that when they start animating for the big series. Yep. So when they do Has Been Hotel, they're definitely going to be already, if they were to start now, their animation and their sound work and all of it is a lot better than it was. Even in like, I look at Has Been Hotel, there's a few scenes that are like, there's this one with Alistair that I look at, is like, that could be done a lot better.
Yep.
The background did not match. It didn't look natural. It just didn't work. And just the voice lines even were the lines for the audio. Like, the voice was great, but the lines weren't perfect. So it was like one of those types of deals. I was like, okay, that could be. There's a lot of things that could be improved about Has Been Hotel, and I definitely see them trying to improve on that because of how much they've done. Like, it's almost like, in many ways, it's like Helluva Boss is a side mission.
Yes.
It's basically a side mission. It has a story, but it's not important to your main plot that you're working on. But it will be nice. I'm sure they'll have some small crossovers at some point. Like,
or
maybe
like
seeing an imp sign, like at the by the banner or something,
or like
somewhere.
Probably implemented into like a vending machine or something.
Right. Like in fact, I wouldn't be surprised because like I remember in Has Been Hotel, they include a lot of background character designs because every single one is pretty unique. Most of them. And like even just that one scene in season 3 where they all come up, episode 3, when they come up and they all are at the spring break and it's like, see, we have customers. All those designs were very, very different. And I'm sure people have submitted like designs and they've used those, which I think would be so cool. Submitting a design and just seeing it used in a background character. Dude, if I'm still working on drawing it, but I want to draw it and send that just like, hey, here's fan art, and then see what happens. But like,
I could just picture us in that show just being like, okay.
like we could just like, oh dude, if we just got like one, like even if we got like, I'd be surprised.
Like
if
a second.
A second. Like we're just there, like we're watching it. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, animation rating.
So software score would be
From 8 out of, well actually, I actually have to give it a 9 out of 10 personally from an animator standpoint. Not
it's gold.
Like from an animator standpoint, it's golden animation. It would be an 8 out of a 10, but that one scene of her talking, just the way it worked, whoever worked on that, the smoothness, the hair animations, every bit of it, for me gave it an extra point. So it's a solid 9 out of 10 for me, mainly for that scene, but also just in general, the animation is doing really good. And I think they're getting better at close-up scenes because like I notice a major problem. You know sometimes in animations when they have a close-up scene, but you look at the background and it seems out of place. Even though it is the background they're supposed to be in, it looks weird. Like I said, there's an episode in Hazbin Hotel. There's a scene in Hazbin Hotel where Alistair is talking, and the background doesn't fit in the background. It looks like a solid image with him on it. It doesn't look like he's in a place.
Like the old SpongeBob or old
right, and
Simpsons episodes where it's like you see them moving, or no, not Simpsons, Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Where the background's just...
The background is an image. It looked like that, and it was like, that's not what you're going for.
It's like, gee, I wonder which one I should grab. The one that's outlined.
Right. So because of that, I think but this one, especially that scene, the close-ups are a lot better because they're making the background still be dynamic, and I think that's a huge improvement. I'm loving that. So I do think 9 out of 10 for me as far as the software section goes. So so 6 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. I believe that's about a 7.5, 7.5.
Yep.
So overall rating for this specific episode was 7.5. We'll be watching episode 4 probably next week and analyzing it as well. And we'll probably do an episode on that.
And then episode 10.
Oh yeah, wait. This one's 8.
Then
9 will be next week. Yeah, episode 10. Big. In fact, I'll give you all, since you made it to the end of this podcast, we'll give you a little explanation. Episode 10 is a special episode. You're pumping your fists.
Oh yeah,
Power Rangers, ladies and gentlemen.
Power Rangers.
Now, not just any Power Rangers. I'm gonna try and see if I can go through most of them.
If we can,
all of them.
Dude, I usually do most of the talking for these. You're gonna be going on a spiel.
Yes.
I'm probably just gonna all right. I'm gonna get comfortable.
Dude.
But anyway, yes. If you want our big episode 10, Power Rangers, don't forget subscribe, do all that.
And leave a comment for any episodes or shows that you want us to...
Yeah. Shows you want us to work on.
Or movies.
Anything, really. And I'm thinking episode 20 will be a special for me. We may consider either doing a video game, or we could do... I want to do an analyzation of my childhood films, which I believe... my childhood film... which would either be Looney Tunes or actually no, the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Dude.
Yeah,
that's what I want because that was my childhood.
So episode 10 would be Power Rangers.
Episode 20 is going to be Hanna-Barbera. Like as much as I can get over of Huckleberry Hound, Yogi Bear.
Yep.
There's one cat and dog, not the
Tomcat.
Tomcat. Oh, that was my favorite series, dude. Okay. Calm down.
Yeah.
I'm getting like you.
We're getting excited.
Right. So subscribe. Don't forget in the description there is Twitter. You can tweet us, which we'll probably see those easier than we will other stuff because I can filter comments.
Yeah.
I think there's a hashtag that you can use that's in the description. If it's not there, we'll make one.
Yep.
But Thank you, everybody, for watching today's episode. I'm Gabriel.
And I'm Noah.
And this has been
Chair Champions Talk.